Hello learners. Welcome to this video. In this session, we will work on 10 questions that involve converting direct speech to indirect speech and indirect speech to direct speech. Your task is to find the errors in each conversion and correct them. So, let's begin the video and test your knowledge. Spot the errors. Each of the following sentences will contain a mistake in the usage of direct and indirect speech. See if you can spot that mistake. 1. Direct. The boy said, "I'm happy with my results." Indirect. The boy said that he is happy with his results. Incorrect. Write the correct answer. The correct answer is: the boy said that he was happy with his results. Reason. I changed I to he because the pronoun refers to the boy, and in indirect speech, the perspective shifts to third person. Am was changed to was because the sentence is in the simple present tense, and according to the rules of indirect speech, the simple present tense changes to the simple past tense. The past tense of am is was. My was changed to his because it refers to the boy, and the possessive pronoun needs to align with the subject of the reporting clause. 2. Direct. She said, "I have baked a cake." Indirect. She said that she baked a cake. Incorrect. Write the correct answer. The correct answer is: indirect. She said that she had baked a cake. Correct. Reason. In the sentence, I was changed to she because the pronoun refers to the speaker, she, and in indirect speech, the perspective shifts to third person. Have baked was changed to had baked because the original verb is in the present perfect tense, have baked. According to the rules of indirect speech, when the reporting verb, said, is in the past tense, the present perfect tense shifts to the past perfect tense. This is why have baked becomes had baked in the correct indirect speech. So, the correct sentence is: indirect. She said that she had baked a cake. 3. Direct. He said, all people have equal rights. Indirect. He said that all people had equal rights. Incorrect. Write the correct answer. The correct answer is: he said that all people have equal rights. Here's the explanation for why the correct indirect speech retains have instead of changing it to had. The sentence, all people have equal rights, expresses a universal truth or a general fact. Universal truths or general facts do not change over time, so when converting from direct to indirect speech, the tense remains in the present tense, even if the reporting verb is in the past tense. Example, said. Why had is incorrect. Changing have to had implies that the statement is no longer true or valid, which is not the case here. The idea of equal rights is a timeless truth, so it remains in the present tense. Correct indirect speech. He said that all people have equal rights. 4. Direct. Roshni said, I may meet him here. Indirect. Roshni said that she may meet him here. Incorrect. Write the correct answer. The correct answer is: Roshni said that she might meet him there. Reason. I changes to she. The pronoun I refers to Roshni, so it is replaced with she in indirect speech to maintain the correct perspective. May changes to might. According to the rules of indirect speech, when the reporting verb is in the past tense, example, said, modal verbs like may shift to their past form, which is might. Here changes to there. Words that indicate place, example, here, are modified in indirect speech to reflect the context of the reporting. Here becomes there because the location is now being reported from a different perspective. Correct indirect speech. Roshni said that she might meet him there. 5. Direct. She says, I will go to school tomorrow. Indirect. She says that she would go to school the day after. Incorrect. Write the correct answer. The correct answer is: she says that she will go to school the next day. Reporting verb, says, is in the present tense. when the reporting verb is in the present tense. Example says, there is no backshifting of the tense in the reported speech. Therefore, will remains will instead of changing to would. Time expression tomorrow changes to the next day. In indirect speech, time expressions like tomorrow are adjusted to match the context of reporting. Tomorrow becomes the next day, not the day after, because it reflects the correct time reference relative to when the statement is made. 6. Direct, he said, she is coming this week to discuss this. Indirect, he said that she was coming this week to discuss this. Incorrect, write the correct answer. The correct answer is, he said that she was coming that week to discuss it. Here's the explanation for why the correct indirect speech is, he said that she was coming that week to discuss it. Tense change, is coming, to, was coming. The reporting verb, said, is in the past tense, so the verb, is coming, present continuous, in direct speech changes to, was coming, past continuous, in indirect speech. This follows the rule of backshifting when the reporting verb is in the past. Time expression change, this week, to, that week. Words indicating time in direct speech, such as, this week, change to, that week, in indirect speech to reflect the shift in perspective. This adjustment ensures the time frame is reported relative to the speaker's position. Pronoun and object change, this, to, it. The word, this, in the phrase, to discuss this, changes to, it, in indirect speech because the context of the discussion is now being reported, not directly spoken. Why the first indirect version is incorrect. This week remains unchanged, which fails to adjust the time reference to reflect the new perspective. This, in, to discuss this, is not replaced with it, which would clarify the indirect context. Correct indirect speech. He said that she was coming that week to discuss it. 7. Direct, he said to them, will you come for dinner? Indirect, he said to them, will they come for dinner? Incorrect. Write the correct answer. The correct answer is, he asked them whether they would come for dinner. Reporting verb, said to, changes to, asked. In direct speech, will you come for dinner, is a question, so the reporting verb, said to, must be replaced with, asked, to appropriately indicate that a question was being asked. Using, said to, without modification is incorrect when converting a question into indirect speech. Question format to statement format. In indirect speech, questions are reported as statements, not as direct questions. The structure, will they come for dinner? Interrogative, changes to, whether they would come for dinner, declarative. Will, changes to, would. Since the reporting verb, asked, is in the past tense, said to, asked, the modal verb, will, backshifts to, would, in indirect speech. Whether, or, if, is introduced. To report yes/no questions, we use whether or if in indirect speech. This ensures the question is embedded as part of the sentence, rather than remaining a direct question. Why the incorrect version is wrong. He said to them, will they come for dinner? This version keeps the question structure, interrogative, instead of converting it into a statement, declarative. It also fails to backshift the tense, will, would, and lacks the necessary whether or if. Correct indirect speech. He asked them whether they would come for dinner. 8. Direct. The teacher said, be quiet and listen to my words. Indirect. The teacher said them to be quiet and listen to my words. Incorrect. Write the correct sentence. The correct sentence is, the teacher urged, ordered them to be quiet and listen to his words. Here's the explanation for why the correct indirect speech is, the teacher urged, ordered them to be quiet and listen to his words. One choice of reporting verb. In the direct speech, be quiet and listen to my words is an imperative sentence, a command or instruction. When converting imperatives into indirect speech, the reporting verb must reflect the tone of the sentence. Urged, ordered, told, requested, etc. are commonly used. Using said alone is incorrect because it does not convey the sense of a command or instruction. 2. Change of structure. Use of to. Imperative sentences are converted into to infinitives in indirect speech. Be quiet, to be quiet. Listen, to listen. This structure avoids retaining the direct command format in indirect speech. 3. Pronoun change. My, his. The possessive pronoun, my, changes to his to reflect the teacher as the speaker. Pronouns must be adjusted to match the new reporting perspective. Why the incorrect version is wrong. The teacher said them to be quiet is grammatically incorrect because the verb said does not take an object in this context, unlike told or urged. The imperative form, be quiet, should be transformed into a to infinitive. Correct indirect speech. The teacher urged, ordered them to be quiet and listen to his words. 9. Direct. The old man said, I am ruined. Indirect. The old man said that he was ruined. Incorrect. The correct speech is, the old man exclaimed with sorrow that he was ruined. Here's the explanation for why the correct indirect speech is, the old man exclaimed with sorrow that he was ruined. 1. Expression of emotion, In direct speech, conveys an emotion, in this case, sorrow or grief. When converting such sentences into indirect speech, the reporting verb must reflect the emotion being expressed. Therefore, said is replaced with a more appropriate reporting verb like exclaimed with sorrow or cried out in grief. 2. Tense change, am, was. The verb am, present tense, changes to was, past tense, in indirect speech because the reporting verb, said exclaimed, is in the past tense. 3. Removal of the interjection, Interjections like are omitted in indirect speech. Instead, the emotion is expressed through the reporting verb, exclaimed with sorrow. Writing in indirect speech, as in the incorrect version, is redundant and grammatically inappropriate. 10. Indirect. The policeman inquired where we were going. Direct. The policeman inquired where are you going. Incorrect. Direct. The policeman said, where are you going? Correct. Reason. Here's the explanation for why the correct direct speech is, the policeman said, where are you going? 1. Change in sentence structure. In direct speech, questions must retain their interrogative word order, verb before the subject. Correct. Where are you going? Incorrect. Where we were going. This follows the statement word order used in indirect speech. Reporting verb, enquired. In the direct speech version, the question must use a reporting verb like said to introduce the question. Enquired is typically used in indirect speech when a question is reported. In direct speech, it is more natural to use said or asked to directly introduce the question. Presence of quotation marks. In direct speech, the exact words of the speaker are enclosed in quotation marks. Example, where are you going? The lack of quotation marks in the incorrect version makes it invalid as direct speech. Verb tense. In direct speech, the tense remains the same as spoken. Are you going? Remains in the present continuous tense. In indirect speech, the tense changes to the past continuous, we were going, to align with the past reporting verb. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this session has helped you understand and clarify the grammatical rules for converting direct speech to indirect speech and vice versa. Practice these concepts regularly to strengthen your grammar skills. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more such content. See you in the next video. Keep learning and keep improving.